All right, now you can see my screen, I'm hoping, with Networking Essentials written on it. And so we're going to get started. Hi, I'm Stewart Fleming. I am a advisor. I'm a business coach. I'm an entrepreneur. I've had many of my own businesses. But today I am an advisor for the Australian Small Business Advisory Services. That is a federally funded program that is organised through Regional Development Australia under the auspice of the guidance of Business Station based in Perth. So today we're going to be talking about networking essentials, more business, making less connections. And really, networking is about building a team without paying for it. Does that sound like a good thing to do? So if you can network well, it actually gives you a great reach into the market. So I'm guessing that's what you're all here for today. If you've happened to wander into Networking Essentials and you thought this was going to be something else, I'm sorry. In the chat window, if you put any questions in there, I'll attempt to answer them. If you have any specific things that you wanted to get out of this morning, please let me know. My goal is to try and get you back double the time you spend with me. So if I can get you, save you 2 hours of time over the next week, that's not this week, obviously, because it's Friday, but over next week, then I'm considering that a win. And then if you get an extra hour after that for each week in the year, that's a good investment of your time. But you only get that investment if you do the work. So as I said, I'm a business coach, and so there will be homework, but I want you to set the homework. So I'm hoping you've got a pen and paper handy, because I want you to jot down as we go the things that are important for you. Now, if you've been to one of my workshops before, or one of my webinars before, you'll know it's a little bit like drinking from the fire hydrant. There's lots and lots of information coming at you. But what I want you to do is I want you to pick the bits and pieces that make sense to you. Okay, so I want you to write down the things that make sense to you that you can take action on. All right, let's jump in. So some expectations for this morning. What is networking? Some building blocks for networking. We look at some top tools. I don't know, we can't really do the group exercise because, well, you know, we're in a webinar, but there will be homework. And of course, as I said, I'll answer any questions as they come up. So what is networking? Well, it's a way to build your business community. So you might use it, and this is the way that I think a lot of people tend to use it by default. It's a way of finding new clients for sales. I'm going to sell to that person in the room. And if you've been to a number of networking functions, you may have heard the phrase, don't sell to the room, but sell to the people they know. So the idea here is that you don't want to really particularly sell to people in the room. What you want to do is build some relationships. So that brings us to the next point, strengthening relationships within the community. Now, in days gone by, you would hang a horseshoe out the front of your house, and that said you were a farrier. Okay, and then everybody knew you were a farrier, and if you wanted your horse shod, then you would go to the farrier, right? That's it, simple. But these days, it's really, really hard to get spotted. Who is the local farrier? Who is the local marketing expert? Now, people work really, really hard to become that. But part of that is building relationships within the community. The next thing about networking is it's staying top of mind. So it's PR. If you keep turning up, they can't assume that you died or got bored and moved on. And that's 100% what actually happens. If I disappear and nobody sees me around for 2 months, they assume I've either gone on holidays, died, or moved or something. And they won't bother calling because, well, I've not seen Stu in a while, so he's probably not around. Call this guy, I saw him yesterday. It is staying top of mind, and we're going to cover that a little bit more in detail. But developing affiliates and referrals. So this is, for me, the #1 reason to go networking, to develop an affiliate or a referral partner. I'll refer to you, you refer to me. So you're not making one sale, you're making hundreds of sales, or depending on your business, you know, multiple sales, let's say with that. So by developing an affiliate or developing a referral partner, you're actually going to maximize your potential in the room. Now, when I first wrote these out, there was something that I missed, and I realized it when we do speed networking exercises. Has anyone ever done speed dating or speed networking? How did you find it? If you have, yeah, perfect. How did you find it? Yeah, okay. So, yeah, okay, a bit disorganized. Okay, well, that will depend on the people running it, but it always feels a little bit like that. So the idea is when I run them, so I'm the president of the Logan Chamber of Commerce, and every now and then at a function, we'll run a speed networking. So it's usually about 10 minutes. And what we do is I create, count how many people in the room, divide it by 2, and create 2 rings of that number. So if there's 20 people in the room, we usually have like 120 people in the room, which makes it kind of a bit disorganized, as Alan says. But we have 2 rings of, say, 30 people, inner ring facing the outer ring. And we say, all right, inner ring first, go. You have 30 seconds to introduce yourself. And then the outer ring gets 30 seconds to introduce themselves. And then the outer ring moves around by 1. Go again, go again, go again. And the reason I put this last point on what is networking is because what we've found by doing this, the number one thing that comes out of this, apart from I didn't know that person did that, and I would, I knew this person, I wouldn't have said that that's what they did. But the number one thing that comes out of it is by explaining my business 10 times in quick succession, I quickly work out what I should probably be saying, what I shouldn't be saying. It gets clarity on how they explain their business. So if you get an opportunity to do some speed networking, have a go. Any networking will give you clarity on your business, provided you're active in it. If you sit in the corner, you're not getting anything. But if you're actively networking, if you're actively talking to people, you will get clarity on your business. But for me, the biggest thing, as I said, developing affiliates and referral partners. Any questions on any of that? Moving quite quickly this morning. That's because it's a beautiful day. I feel like I should have that song playing in the background. It was so cool. I really like the Queen one. Oh, for those that were playing along at home, it was Michael Bublé was the second one. All right, no questions, moving on. Building blocks for networking. The first thing, plan ahead. So you're going to go networking. Do you have business cards? Are you going to use business cards? Are you going to collect business cards? Do you need business cards in today's Stu? Well, it depends on who you are. I like to keep at least one card for one business in my pocket. But then I'm very cautious about who I give it to, or I'll pull it out and let them take a photo of it. I make them work a little bit harder for it. I'm not just going to hand them a card and walk away. The other thing is, if you do have a business card, make sure that you have some space on it to write. What have I got here? Let's see what cards I've got on my desk. So I've got a card here. It's black on the back. It's white on the front. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. My video's not even on. Oh, look at that. There we go. So there we go. It's white and then sort of a gray color on the back. There's a little space up the top here. I could possibly write something, but probably not, because I'll be writing over the name. The writing is quite small. Like it's a little hard to read. So I'm having a go. It's actually my son's card, by the way. So the first thing is, what are you trying to tell them? Who is it, your business name or your name that should be bigger? And that depends on who your business is. If your business brings clout, make it your business name. If it's not, Of course, if anyone does need a business card, they've got to go to Elam's print shop because he runs one. And everybody needs business cards, lots of them, regularly, isn't that right? Make it a challenge, give out as many as you can. No. So what you want to do is, if your name brings clout, make the name of your business bigger. If you're personally wanting people to connect with you, which is usually the way you do business, right? The whole thing of networking is person to person. So your name should be bigger. And then the next biggest thing should be, do you want to be phoned or emailed? If it's phone, the phone number should be big. One of my clients is an optometrist, and she'll tell you that she works specifically with children. She said that people are going blind faster. Eyesight is getting poorer. On average, across the board, everybody's getting worse vision. So if you use a small font, you're stuffed. That's it. No one's going to be able to read it. And if you make them work to read it, they're not going to want to do it. So make the number on your, if it's a phone and you want to speak to them, make the phone number large. If you prefer email, make the email large and the phone number slightly smaller. What you're doing is you're telling them what you want. If you make everything the same size, nobody cares. Now, should you put on your website and your Facebook and your Instagram and I don't know, maybe. If you've got a really massive Instagram following, maybe that should be really big, if that's where you do a lot of work. If Facebook is your place, then maybe Facebook should be on there. It's dependent on who you are and what you do, but what I would suggest, as it's like a golden tip, is make sure you can read it when you hold it away from you. If you can tell that's your card on the other side of the room, that's great. Oh, we've lost audio. Okay, you are back. Okay, cool. I think oh, Elam's back. Excellent. All right. So if you can read your card at the other, you can see, you don't have to read your card obviously on the other side of the room, but if it gets pulled out of a drawer and you can tell it's yours, that's great. You want it to stand out. And I'm sure Ellen would be telling me exactly the same thing. You want it to be able to stand out. But what I would suggest is that you leave space to write on it. Now, what are you going to write on your business card? You're going to write something that's custom to the person that you've just met so that it makes it specific to them. Now, we'll get to, actually, let's move on and I'll come back to that in a second. Know your target. Who are you trying to meet in the room? Are you looking for the sale? And that might be fine. If you sell large items and this is a target-rich environment for you, go for it. You know, I'm not precluding the fact that you can sell to the room. I don't say never sell to the room. That's silly. But ideally, what you're looking for is that referral partner or that affiliate. So if you're a print, we've got a print shop. So if you're a print shop, who do you think would be a good affiliate or referral partner for a print shop? Come on, Alan, this is for you, man. Sucker business coach. The reason you can't see comments sometimes is because it's been written to all panelists rather than all panelists and attendees. But absolutely, I would be a business coach, yes, for sure, but every day of the week, a marketing company. Accountant, maybe, but I don't take advice on where to print from my accountant. A graphic designer, yes. If the graphic designer is it has at least enough personality to ask for it, yep, absolutely. But the marketing company, every single day of the week, if someone's in marketing, they're the people you're looking for. So I'm guessing that I don't have all print shops here. So have a think about who would be for you to connect with. And it's not just any marketing company, is it? Because if it's a very large marketing company that already has a printer in their back pocket, that might be a hard one to break into. I'm not saying that you don't try, but someone who is marketing to small businesses will give you small business clients. Someone who's marketing to larger businesses will give you larger business clients. And I guess, you know, this is part of networking. Networking is I'm connecting with people at a networking event, but you could just be networking by reaching out to people who you want to have in your network. So if you were a print shop, we'll stick with print shop because I know we've got in there. Oh, for anybody else, I'm quite happy if you want to throw out what you do, what your business is, and I'll use you in examples as well. But if you're a print shop, who does billboards and who do they use for printing? Because people who sell billboards have contacts with very large, much larger marketing companies and may be able to do a package. Who are the larger marketing companies in your area? Because you're their local printer rather than use a printer that's, you know, further away. And what would it take to get that particular business? So there's a bunch of different things there that you can do that where you meet someone. But if you're in a room with people, that's what you're looking for. You're trying to find, do you know a marketing company? Who do you use for your marketing? Now, while I'm talking to you and you're a baker, who do you use for your marketing? Now, I could say you need business cards. One of them might get me a sale. The other one might get me a referral partner. Which would you prefer? Is that interesting? Does that? Indeed. So trying to go for those referral partners if you can. And this is why I say you've got to know your target. Yeah. The next one is ask, don't tell. And there is so much behind those three little words. Person in asking the questions is the person who's in charge of the conversation. If I'm asking questions of you, I'm running the conversation. If you're asking questions of me, you're running the conversation. Make sure you're in charge of the conversation. Ask questions. Ask about what they do, then ask straight away about who's their marketing person. Do they trust them? Have they used them for long? The conversation is not about them or you. It's about what you can find out about the referral partner. Or who are you looking for? Who do you need to help your business? Oh, people that eat bread. Okay, well, there's going to be a challenge there because everybody eats bread or, you know, whatever. Okay, cool. Then this is something, I guess, Jody says, I'm a virtual assistant, provide all types of administrative support to entrepreneurs and small business owners. So in that regard then, making sure that the businesses that you support, if they're going to networking functions, they give you a list of follow-ups. Prompt them to do that. My assistants don't prompt me anymore because I know I do it, but getting a prompt to say, hey, I've spotted in your calendar, you're going to this networking function, make sure you've got your business cards and provide me with a list of those that you're going to follow up with afterwards. But ask in the situation, and Jody, if you're in a networking situation, ask, don't tell. One of the fantastic ones I heard, and I misheard it. I guess you hear what you want to hear, right? I was in the States, I was at a convention, and I thought I heard someone say, so what do you think that is? So the question was, what do you do? I'm a blah, blah, blah. What do you think that is? And I think that is a fantastic question. And I went over to say that after they'd have finished their conversation, I went over to say, that is so cool. And she said, what do you mean? I said, well, you said, what do you think that is? She goes, no, I said something else. Well, I can't remember what it was. But I've been using it ever since. So maybe, you know, I'm going to give her credit for it, even though she didn't actually say it. I'm a business coach. So what do you think that is? I'm asking a question, so I'm now in control again, and I'm getting them to try and tell me what it is they think I do. I'm a virtual assistant. What do you think that is? I run a print shop. So what do you think I do? I know it might sound pretty obvious, but what's happening so you've got to think about what's actually going on to the other person. The other person is now trying to put into words what you already know. And you can say, well, that's pretty close, but actually I do more of it this. Well, that's pretty close, but I do this. Or that's spot on. Well done. Let me guess what you do. So that's the whole point of that, is it's engaging their brain, because they've just met 20 other people. How are you going to stand out? You have to stand out. You have to engage their brain. You have to give them some little clever thing that they can think about, that makes them think about you in some way that they didn't think about anybody else. So we all make assumptions on stuff. So by using this, what you're getting them to do is think about what it is you actually do. And then not only do you get to do that, but you get to tell them what you actually do, because you get to point them slightly in the better direction. It's so cool. That's why I was so excited when I heard it. For me, it just sparked so many opportunities in the other person's brain. And she didn't actually say it, which I was quite disappointed about. But anyway, I've been using it ever since. I'm a business coach. What do you think that is? What do you think I do? Oh, because then they're not talking about themselves. They're quite happy to engage in that because they want to see how smart they feel. It's actually really cool. Set a date and time. So you are not going to create a referral partner in the room. I can tell you that right now. Don't try. That's, hey, first date on Tinder and we're going straight to the bedroom. No, let's not do that. Okay. What I want you to do is have date and time. But as I said at the top, plan ahead. So if we were in when I've given this in live, hi, I'm Stewart Fleming and we're live. I don't know, it just feels like we should be live. If we were live, what I'd be doing is saying, I want you to write down when you're available next week. I want you to put 3, 4, 5 slots when you can actually catch up next week. Now, you're going to turn to the person next to them. You're going to do the introduction in a few minutes once we've finished this. And then you're going to finish it by setting the date and time of when you're going to catch up next. It could be a phone call. It could be a coffee. It could be a Zoom meeting. Everyone's doing those things. You have to build a relationship. You have to reconnect. Okay. This is, one of the rules. Let's assume it's a rule. You don't get to do that if you don't have date and times ready. So you can say, well, I've got these 3 dates ready. Oh, you don't have your calendar. What I'll do is I'll email them to you the moment I get home. And then the virtual assistant can email them. Yeah. You want to follow up. Confirm the agenda. When you say, okay, fantastic. Next Tuesday at 12 o'clock, we're going to meet at Christopher's Fine Foods. That would be awesome. It's my usual haunt. They do a great coffee. If you really like the iced drinks, their iced chocolate is to die for. So I'm setting up that they want to come. We're going to meet at 11. It's going to be Tuesday. We're going to set this up. So on the card, I'll write 11 a.m. Tuesday, and I'll hand them my card. Or if they hand me their card, and for some reason, I either run out or whatever, I'll write 11 a.m. Tuesday on the card they give me. Okay. By actually doing that, which means you have to have a pen, plan ahead. But by actually doing that, what you're doing is you're showing that it's actually going to happen. Okay. Now, the moment you get back to the office, or if you've got a virtual assistant, the virtual assistant will send out, or you will send out, hey, great to catch up. So have this as a form email that you're ready to send. Hey, great to catch up to meet you this morning. As agreed, we can catch up next Tuesday at Christopher's Fine Foods at 11 a.m. Things to talk about, and then a little agenda. I'm not going to waste your time. We're going to talk about business stuff. I'm not going to turn up and just talk about, you know, the latest COVID vaccine or who's currently president of the USA or any of this sort of stuff. We're going to talk about business, and these are the things that I'd love to cover off. If you have anything you'd like to add, please let me know, or just bring it on the day. On the day, there's a reminder that'll go out in the morning to say, hey, looking forward to catching up with you at Christopher's at 11. Any dramas, let me know. I'm giving them the maximum possibility of turning up. I'm trying to make sure this actually happens because I do not want to waste time. If I didn't give you this stuff, or if you don't do it, you're not going to get the hour back that I promised at the start. Okay. But if you can connect with a referral partner, you can confirm the agenda, you turn up the final point in the building blocks, you turn up and you seal the deal. How can we do business together? What's that going to look like? All right. I've got a few other bits and pieces that I want to add in here, but I'm not sure if I'd cover them off. Let's move on. Is there any questions? Sorry, before I do, any questions on any of that? Because we're about halfway through. It's just coming up on 8:30 my time. If you're in Perth, good Lord, it's 6:30 your time. Well done. If there are no other questions, moving on. All right, so space, as I said, space in your calendar. Have some space in your calendar and know what you're trying to do. So how would you broach that subject? Would you say something like, how could we do business together? Well, you already know what you're looking for from them, right? Because you only set meetings with people that could be referral partners. So I find the easiest way is, I'd love you as a referral partner. I'd love you to refer business to me, and then in return, I can refer business to you. Don't beat around the bush. Just say it straight out. Want to do business? Yeah. Want to make more money? Sure. Can you send clients to me? Fine. How are you going to do that? So I'm going to come to the tools in a second, but don't look at the slide for the moment. Let's go back a slide just so I could, because I wasn't sure if I had it on the next slide or not. How can we do business together? You're going to look at for referral people or affiliates that can do business. So if you're doing that, you want to tell them how you will refer. How do you want to be referred to? And I have done this, and I've taught this, and it works. You will send them an email and you'll say, this is how I would like you to refer to me. Okay. If you've had a one-on-one with me, you will have already had one of these. And it says, hey, I know we're doing some great stuff together, but when we're always looking for more clients, the ASBAS program is expanding. So if you know anyone who could use some business coaching, here's what I would like you to send. Then there's a line, and then it says, hey, my business coach is looking for new clients and he's doing some great stuff. It's subsidized. Here's how you could link to it via ASBAS. Here's the link. Any questions or problems, touch base with me. Catch up with you soon. And then underneath another line, and it says, thank you very much. Please change that as you see fit. I'm actually telling them, giving them the email that they can forward on for their referrers, right? Now, if I'm setting up a referral partner, so that's just asking for referrals, right? But if I'm setting up a referral partner, I will also include in this, and this is the email that I will be sending out to my clients to refer them to you, right? And then I write the same email, but this time I'm saying, hey, my printer has just got more capacity and is absolutely awesome. So if you're looking for some more business cards, posters, or blah, 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 drop in a CM or send him an email or whatever that he actually wants, okay? Or my VA has got more capacity, and while I don't like to share her, you know, because I trust you so much, I'm happy for you to get some of her time. She's awesome at blah, 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 blah. And now I'd send that to you. Now you can see that I'm going to use it, right? Well, as best possible, you know how I'm going to refer to you, and you can correct it and send it back to me. Actually, don't say that, say this. No, don't say business cards because there's no profit on it. Say printing of calendars or something, right? This is how you're going to get referrals. So if you're doing it to someone, if you're doing it to a marketing company, Helen, you're doing it to a marketing company, then you will write, hey, one of my partners, Kim G Marketing is really good at helping out these clients. I've just finished a campaign with them for this. You should get in touch. They've got a new package, right? I don't know if they've got a new package, but I will send that to them and I'll say, this is the kind of thing I could send out. What would you like me to say? Now, you don't have to say exactly what they send you, but it'll get you somewhere close. And now you and your referral partner are speaking the same language. You're starting to talk like referral partners. The other thing I would do with referral partners and affiliates is measure. How many are they sending? A good friend of mine, Michael Griffiths, teaches referral marketing. And while I don't claim to be able to teach all the stuff he does, because there's an awful lot there, one of the things he'll talk about is the fact that you should have a referral network of about 20 people. So each month you must connect with your referral partners at least once. You must stay top of mind, right? Jody hasn't disappeared, she's just busy. And you know that because I got a postcard from her. She sent me a muffin, she bought me a coffee, she gave me a phone call. Some carrier pigeon turned up, I don't know. Right, so what I suggest is write down 12 different ways you can connect with a referral partner. All right, we don't leave this to chance. Write down 12 different ways you can connect with a referral partner that are interesting. And then as you build your referral network, if someone isn't performing, they drop off and you can throw someone else in there. But if you've got 12 different ways of connecting, that's 12 months. Once a month, you're going to follow that and do that with that person. Don't make it hard for yourself. Make the decision up front that you're going to do it and do it properly. It will absolutely pay dividends. And so by networking, what we're doing is we're finding the people to put onto that networking, that referral network list. Does that sound like a good idea? If you've got 20 people referring good clients to you, I'm not saying, just the people that want 5 business cards. But if you've got 20 people who are actively referring the best, highest paying clients you can get, then you probably don't need Kim G Marketing. Sorry, Kim G Marketing. I don't know if there is a Kim G Marketing, but I'm assuming there is. It is really about doing business in your community. By doing this, what you're doing is setting up a community of people that will help you do your business. It's hanging out your shingle in a small village where everyone in the village gets to see who you are. All right. At that point, because I wasn't sure if I included that here, and maybe I include it later, but I just wanted to make sure I covered it off, because knowing what you do with the people towards the end is really, really important. I want you to go from start. I've met a baker who's introduced me to their marketing person. I've made an appointment with the marketing person for a meeting. I've confirmed the meeting with an agenda. I've turned up. I have said, I would love to be your referral partner. They've said, we've already got a printer. And you say, fantastic. I'm going to put you on my network anyway. And when they drop the ball, I bet you I can pick it up. Even if you're super happy with them. I had a friend, he is a friend, I will say that. He's also a client, does air conditioning repair. And he knew that the business that he really wanted, he just put on a couple of extra trucks, and the business that he really wanted was rental air conditioning repairs. He was based in Bulimba. It's a pretty well-to-do area, lots and lots of units and rentals. And so he would go to each real estate agent on a Monday morning with a little basket of muffins, and he would just walk in and say, "G'day, how you going? How were the muffins yesterday, last week? How's the air conditioning guy? Has he dropped the ball yet? No? Okay, see you next week." And you just go to the next one. "Hey, how you going? How were the muffins last week? Has your air conditioning guy dropped the ball? No? Okay, see you next week." 3 weeks it took him to get the first one to say, "Well, actually, we do have a job next week." "Oh, great, no worries." He knocked it out of the park. He eventually got all of their work, and I think now he's got like 6 of the 7 real estates. He didn't care that they already had someone. He knows that they will drop the ball at some point. So he just waited. But he was top of mind. When that ball got dropped, he was right there to pick it up. Now he's got like 3 or 4 more trucks based on that. He could literally retire on, what was it? 6 baskets of muffins each week for, let's call it 12 weeks. And you can retire on that. Now, he had a business behind it to back it up. I'm not saying you can just walk in and then suddenly you get to retire. You've got to have a good business, right? You've got to have good staff. You've got to make sure that the next muffin dropper cannot pick up the ball that you drop. But just because someone already has someone in their back pocket they're using, do not assume that that is never going to change. And if it is going to change, who are they going to go to next? It's the person who's top of mind. So if you do have marketing companies or that are using printers, how are you going to stay top of mind? Drop in and see them every now and again. Make it do something that's regular, that's dependable, because what you're showing, oh, pardon me, what you're showing is that you're both regular and dependable. Yeah, exactly. Be different, but be dependable. Be regular. Confirm agendas. Turn up. Seal the deal. Let's look at the next slide. Make sure there's space in your calendar. Business card with space to write on. A clear message on what you do. So if you do a ton of stuff, do not stay a ton of stuff, right? If you say, and this is one of those things, what are you looking for? If you can't answer that question straight away, you're gone. Oh, but what if I say the wrong thing? No, the wrong thing is either not saying anything or saying too much. You say one thing. I'm looking for marketing people, marketing businesses. Oh, okay. Now, I don't know a marketing person, but I do know a guy that specializes in LinkedIn. By you giving me one thing, it lets my brain then do the connection. If you give me 3 things, I can't do connections with 3 things, I'm out. You've just lost it. But a clear message on what you do, one thing. Willingness to find your business community. So there are businesses who know businesses who will refer to you. So if you are single-minded in only going for referral partners and affiliates, you will get them, but you're probably not building up a network that is going to be useful to refer to. You know, humans are social animals, right? We build big social networks. You've got your network of friends where you feel safe. You should have a network of businesses where you feel safe. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. And the bigger your network, the stronger your social connections, the safer you're going to feel. Fantastic. So you don't do everything from design, print, and promotional branding. I'm pretty sure you don't fly planes and skywrite. So straight away, there's something you don't do. So every time you say everything, you lose. You cannot say everything. right? I'm looking for anyone or everything. That's it, 100%. You've just lost them. I can't stress this enough. It is the idea you have to give people something their brains can handle. Give them one thing. Alan, you do tons of stuff, and I don't question that you do a lot of stuff. Pick something though. What's the focus for today? Banners. Great, we're doing banners. What do you do? Oh, I run a print shop, but you know, the special this month is banners. We're doing these fantastic banners. They don't blow over. They're super cheap. They're fantastic. They're bright, last forever. And if you don't like them, you can replace the inner bits and it, cool, one thing. Now that's a sales pitch for the banner. But what else do you do? You help people get noticed. You put your physical business, you put business into other people's hands because you design print, right? If I hand you something, I'm putting my business in your hand. Well, that's what you do. You are now businesses to get physical. Oh, what do you think I do? What do you do? Well, I allow businesses to get physical. What do you think I actually do? Oh, I don't know. Personal trainer. I'm actually a printer. Oh, I see. Right, cool way of introducing yourself. What you do is not necessarily what you produce. It can be the results. And you'll have heard the phrase, sell the sizzle. This is what that is. I want you guys to sell the sizzle, sell the benefits of having a VA. So I'm not a VA. What do? I make time for the business. Wow, really? Yeah. Does that sit with you, Jody? What do? What benefit do you give to business, to the people that you work for? What do they get? What's the best thing of having you work for them? Yeah, I eliminate time-consuming tasks so they can reclaim their time. Yeah. It's not sexy though, is it? Reduce clutter? Yeah, that's sort of more about what you're doing, not the benefit. What do they do with their time? If they can reclaim their time, what do they do with that? Let's get to the sizzle. I give business owners back to their family. Oh, that's freaking cool. I'd like to do that. Oh, wait, I do. See? Yeah, way better than eliminate time-consuming tasks so you can reclaim your time. It's seriously, it sounds like a sales pitch, doesn't it? Right? It sounds too harsh. I give business owners back to their families. If you've got a business owner that likes jet skiing, you know, I help people jet ski. Really? You have a VA, and one of my clients just loves jet skiing. Without me, he wouldn't be able to jet ski. How cool is that? I'm showing you how what I do gives you that. I help businesses stay top of mind, Ellen. I've got so many different ways that you can let your clients and your referral partners know every month for 12 months that you still exist, that you're thinking of them. That's a great use of print and promotional materials, yes? I help you stay top of mind. I help businesses stay top of mind in their clients and referral partners. That's cool. I may have missed, but anyway, look, let's keep moving on. Are there any questions about that? So clear message when you're building business community, genuine curiosity. Now, is there anyone that is nervous about small talk? Do we have any people that don't like to talk? It's okay if we don't. If we don't, I won't bother going into it. Okay. All right. All I needed was one yes. So the small talk game. The small talk game is kind of cool. So I have taught many people the small talk game. The game goes like this. You get 1 point for every question you ask. You lose 1 point for every question the other person asks. And you get 2 points for a feeling question. So the point is you must ask more questions than you get asked. And I taught this to a lady who was really nervous. Like, she just hated small talk. She would avoid going to parties unless it was people that she knew everyone there in case she got stuck in small talk. So I taught her this game and I said, I want you to text me with a number. If you get a good number, I want you to text it to me. And I got, I think it was probably about 3 hours later, I got 42 sent to me from her as a text message. So I replied back, did you mean 12 or 4? Because it can't have been 42. And she rang me. Yeah, what do you get when you multiply 6 by 9? The meaning of life, 42. She texted me, she phoned me back and she said, no, it's actually 42. I said, you asked 42 questions in a row. She goes, no, I asked 48, but she asked 6 questions back. Where were you? She said, oh, I was filling up fuel at the petrol station, and I started asking questions of the lady in front of me in the line. When she paid, she waited for me, and then I kept asking questions. I said, how did it end up? She said, well, we both had to go, but she's invited me to go meet her grandchildren. Complete stranger. What the hell were the 6 questions is what I want to know. What 6 question qualifies you to meet the grandchildren? So remember the feeling question. So the first one is you get 1 point for every question you ask. You lose a point every time they ask a question. That doesn't mean you don't answer their questions, but the goal is to go deep, not wide. So what do you do? How are your children? What school did you go to? That's wide. So have you lived here long? When did you move here? What was it like moving here? Were you scared? Feeling question. Third question was a feeling question. That's 2 points. I want to connect on an emotional level. Sometimes I'll do things like, wow, that must have been terrifying. Because you're only 17 and you just moved from Gladstone to Brisbane. That must have been scary. Oh no, it's super exciting. Oh, wow, cool. So I'm encouraging them to share the emotion of what it was like. Once we have emotion together, we are connected. And you know what? I'm not talking about myself. Most of the people that are scared of small talk, is it because I won't know what to say? You don't need to say anything. I was at a function, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago with the Queensland Pops Orchestra. And my wife is a singer, an opera singer, and she does work with the Queensland Pops from time to time. And so we were invited to the maestro's house with the entire orchestra, who play together all the time. Like, these guys have played together for 20 years. They all know each other, right? I'm the odd one out. So I started talking to a guy who was the flute player. And I always wanted to play the flute. That was the instrument I wasn't allowed to play as a kid. And so I started talking to the flute player, and the flute player was fascinating. Turns out he had written a piece that was played at his graduation, with him out front and center. And he heard a couple of people behind talking about, this is pretty good. Who wrote this? Nobody knew he actually wrote it. And he also is now Mr. Flute and writes music for kids around the world who are using the flute. He actually writes and sells music online. And so someone came up, I went about this conversation, and I've just been asking about him, right? Someone else comes up and I said, oh, have you met and this is, I do this all the time, I want to reinforce what I've just learned by just telling somebody else straight away. So this other guy come up and I've gone, have you met Pete? He's actually Mr. Flute, sells music all around the world. And in fact, he was actually on stage he was the only person who has ever composed something that was performed at his school as a graduation piece. And he went, dude, I've known you 20 years. I didn't know that. It was quite, you know, usually that would be an embarrassing thing that I've just introduced someone who's known each other for 20 years. But they didn't know that about them because they hadn't bothered asking. And because once you get to know someone for a long time, you don't think to ask those questions, right? So if you're in a networking situation, find something out about someone and then invite someone else. Someone's standing there waiting, invite them in and introduce the next person, the person you just met. It's really cool. I'm meeting a potential client this morning. She's a lawyer setting up to support small businesses with legal matters. How can I go deep with her? Be personal. When did she start her first law firm? You know, is that scary? Is she starting it up right now? What is she worried about? Go deep, ask the questions, listen to the answers, and then go deep. You don't want to go into, and have you got a business card? Have you got a marketing person? That's wide. Go deep. Okay. Genuine curiosity, and that's the reason I bring up that game, is because that genuine, people say, oh, you're just being fake and asking questions. No, I'm not. I'm genuinely curious. I meet freaking amazing Mr. Flute. Dude, I met Mr. Flute. Don't worry about being too personal. If it's too personal, they'll say no. They will. What's personal about where you're worried about setting up your law firm? Right? What's personal about that? It shows you care. And that's where that genuine curiosity. I can ask you the most personal question you could possibly imagine. But if I do it from a place of warmth and curiosity, you'll accept it. The difference is when you say it with love, you can get away with anything, right? You're not being critical. You're saying it with love. You're saying it with curiosity. If you do it that way, really, you can ask for anything. You can ask any question you want. The final part, the top tip, is your uniform. Have you got your uniform on? This. Smile. Smiles will open all the doors, right? So, a little background secret for smiling. I want you to try and smile as hard and as big as you possibly can, okay? Turn off sharing for a second so you can see what I'm doing. All right, I'm in a coffee shop and I'm facing away from the counter so they can't see my face, and I'm doing this. When I relax, nice smile. Okay, I've just forced myself to smile, and I've now got a nice smile on my face, warm, welcoming. People will come up to me. No one's going to come up to me. And if you have resting bitch face, we all know what that is. Some people do. If you've got resting bitch face, this will help. And that's not a bad thing. Well, it is a bad thing if you're trying to connect with people. But don't take it personally. If you have resting bitch face, fine. Learn to smile more. Just overcome it, even for those moments. When I do that, I'm trying to think about the things that I'm grateful for. So I'm attaching gratitude to the big warm smile, and I'm good to go. Well done. Well done. Kimchi marketing. Yeah. All right. We're not going to do, well, we actually are doing group networking exercise right now because Kim G is touching base with Jody for a VA down the track. Perfect. You guys are killing it. So set up a time to catch up and find out about the things that you do. I'll let you do this right now. When might you be available? And all you're looking for, Kim, is just the kinds of things that so that you know the boundaries around what you might be looking for and the kind of price, so you can budget it in for later. Okay, and Jody, you're not trying to make a sale. What you're trying to do is inform. So I get people that say, I can't do sales. I can't do sales. Don't do sales. I don't want you to do sales. You're not allowed to do sales. What you're allowed to do is inform. In fact, you're not allowed to not inform. So sales is, I'm trying to sell you something. Providing information is, I'm going to give you this information and let you make the best possible choice. Had a client who had a plumber, and he's got a third-year apprentice who is just not getting any. Nice, look at this guy. Oh, I'm so proud of you guys. An apprentice, a third-year apprentice who just wasn't upselling anything. And they rely on that because margins are so tight. And so I had a conversation with the apprentice, and I said, look, I know you don't want to sell, and I know you feel like you're letting the boss down. So I'm not going to let you sell, but you are also not allowed to make the decision that the client doesn't want it. So what you need to do is pull out the book and say, these are the things that I can see this is a problem. These are the things that we have available, and this is what it would cost. I'm not going to try and push you in any direction, but I am just giving you the information that you need. And he made 3 sales the next week because he wasn't selling. He was just providing information. Okay, so if you do have that as a problem, do not sell. Just provide information to your clients so they can make the decision for themselves. All right, so your homework. A lot of the time what I'll do is I will get you to set your own homework, but because this is a webinar, I've actually got a slide for it. So practice your pitch, get it down to 30 seconds. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Say it again, say it again, say it again. You'll find a better way of saying it. Be confident, ask for what you want. I'm looking for a referral partner. I'm looking for a marketer. I'm looking for a marketing company. I'm looking for an accountant. I'm looking for a business coach. You know, VAs, business coach, great one. Because the business coach is teaching businesses how to use VAs properly. I have 6, I think now, overseas staff working all the time. 2 of them are VAs. Be confident and ask for what you want. Set your target for every networking event. What are you trying to look for? Now, you may not find it, and that's fine, but you'll meet some really interesting people if you are good at asking questions. If there are no other questions, and I'm assuming I can see emails popping up there, so just make sure you write those down. The chat won't be included in the recording, but I will, for the recording purposes, I will finish it there. This has been another Australian Small Business Advisory Services, or they're calling it now Digital Solutions webinar. My name is Stewart Fleming, and there are a few extra ones coming up, but please check the ASBAS website for those details. And of course, you can book in for one-to-ones with myself or any of the advisors at a massively reduced price because the federal government is picking up the tab. Thank you so much. Have a great day.